have more options like add a row, update a row. These are the actions that can be performed in Google Sheets. So they're asking us that if I'm updating it, it means like we have rows, columns, and everything in Google Sheet, right? So we can easily update a row in Google Sheet using make, as long as I have binded it together. So the major thing for me to use it is like I have to bind it first. So in order for me to properly use all these functions I'm showing you now, okay, so as for those ones, like to start with, I'm going to be I'm going to be using this function, wash new rows. Let me see. Yeah, I'm using I'll show you. Just go with me. I can go place. I'll get to it. Okay. Yeah. So let me just. We're having some starter, like we're having, as you're seeing this functionality, we have some starter ones that you have to use. Okay, like talking of Google Sheets, there are some instances that have to commence your automation. So let's say we are trying to create something. Okay, just like you creating something in programming, you have to create first before you can update. And before you now, like if you are updating before you create, what are you updating? Nothing. So create needs to come before update. Yeah, natural. So in this instance, so let's try this. Okay, but I'll show you how to add it. So I'm trying to wash a new row here. So what I'm doing in this instance is like I'm trying to see whatever activity that is happening in my own Google Sheet with this module I just added. So as the name is right, wash new rows. So that's the point. I mean, like, so what I need to do in order to get this thing working properly, I need to connect it first. You can see connection here. So I need to connect it first. So we have two means of connection. It's either we connect with an API key and or probably your Google account. If you're running an account here, you can just connect to your Google account. So now for me to connect, I can just click on add connection. So you see, now it gives me an avenue to sign in. Since it's Google Sheets, Google will definitely want to personalize their stuff. That's fine. Okay. But there are some instances you might want to cover that might warrant you using the API key. So we'll get there as we proceed. So here, I've already come. But once you click on this button now, it will automatically sync you up with your Google account. Now you're using Chrome browser. You get me? It tends to locate the account that you're running on your Chrome browser and have it. So within that account, it is provided that since you're having this row, it is now very compulsory you create your own Google Sheet. You are trying to bind it with your Google Sheet. So without Google Sheets, all this thing is nothing. Like you're not doing anything. So now, after we've done this, then let me take it to my Google Sheet. So I'm using this Google Sheet. It's just a few data ones are populated so far. So this are the headers and everything. This is the face I said. I divided it into. It's like 4 faces, right? So this is 3 and 4. So completed. So I also have status. What's the essence of the status? For me to determine when it's in progress, when they made the second payment, when they made the third payment, and when they completed their payment. So I have something like this. Let me drop it down so you see what I'm talking about. So that is the essence of having all this. So I mean I can easily update this using my make once I bind it together. So what I will do now in order to bind it together, I'll connect that one first. So if you select this side by part, it's fine, you side by part. Then it's in your drive that you're searching by. If it's within your drive, if it's in your Google Drive, then you get it in your Google Drive. So like, if it was shared with you, maybe you are working and you share with someone, the person can easily, you can find it in your share this with me section. Select this, you see, you can get it. So as for me, I'm going to be using my drive. So hey, they've given me an avenue to select what's it called. Click here to choose the file I'm talking about. And once I click on this button, I'll have access to my files. So let me do that now. The table. Okay. So row with headers. Talking of row with headers, I mean, we're all familiar that the first row of our Google Sheet used to contain our headers. They are in A1 to Z1 or something. They get me? So this is the first row. So they are saying row with header. Enter the range of the table header, e.g. A1 to A4. So here by default, I didn't populate this myself. But Google Sheet is smart enough to give us this by default. Whenever you want the scenario. So once again, so after this, then once I'm done with this, let me just click on OK. I think I've said it's profile. I don't need this yet. Okay, hide it, just one. So after this, there's something we call a router. So it's more or less like a conditional in programming. So programming is more like if-else statement. Probably you've heard of if-else statement before, right? So if-else statement, it helps to actually ensure that whatever we're trying to process is in sync. Let's say we are having someone that has registered and probably paid the first payment. We're having first payment, then we're having status. So since we're having first status, so I'll be running the router to cover this not started what's it called, the status. So for the router, I'll divide the router into like 5 categories. So if the payment status is like not started, here you get, I'll have a module for it in make. So I'll have a module for it in make. I'll have a separate module if the status is like it has started already. If it has completed, I'll have a separate router for it. So let me have the router I'm talking about. So in order for us to get the router, we can search for it. You see, immediately I type in the word in the search field, I'm able to get whatever I'm looking for. So here, we have router, we have repeater. So I'll be just making use of this router in order to do conditioning and everything to make sure it's in sync. So if I add router to it, you see what happens now? So I have router. Now it's giving us 2 states, right? First, second. I was talking about conditioning, right? So we can have like multiple, we can have a 5N, we can have 6, we can have as many as possible. So now, within this, we can also have conditioning to ensure that when it's running, probably you look through the sheet, now you found that this status is not completed, or probably it has not started. So if I have a status, if I have a router here, to be like, okay, this one is not, when it's not started, use this. When it has started, use the second one. When it's still in progress, use the third one. So something like that, that's what we're doing here. So here, if I want to add conditioning to this router, I can add one by clicking on this plus button. So look, we have 3. You can as well delete this. So I can disable if I want to delete this. So I'm deleting this module. So it's now left this one. We have 2 now. So we can add as many as possible, as I'm trying to say. So now, within this one, let me click on the conditioning format. So you see